Why does nobody build doors like this in the United States? This man was tired of his cat scratching at the door, so he found an absolutely genius solution. He marks a line on the door, but the hard part starts now. He cuts the bottom of the door. This creates a perfect triangle flap. After applying glue, he installs a gold hinge. It is screwed in for better stability. This color matches the door perfectly. Now, he attaches the wooden triangle. But how do you keep it closed? So he installs a latch the same color as the hinge. This genius really thought of everything. If you have a pet, you can do it yourself. The materials cost less than $10. But it's not over. He drills a hole for the latch to slide into correctly. And here's the moment of truth. Let's see if the cat likes it. Now, you understand why British craftsmen are the best. Why does nobody have a garden like this in the United States? It is easy to build, and all your neighbors will be jealous. He starts by building a raised wooden planter. He sets them in gravel so it never moves. Everything fits perfectly. He then lines the inside with geotextile fabric. But here's the genius trick. He plants espalier trees. It is eco-friendly and gives you privacy. And it costs only $400 per tree. It depends on which state you live in. He does not place them randomly. It is professional work. He installs a wooden support structure to guide the trunks. It is much nicer than our American fences. But the garden is not finished. There is still the ground. He prepares a perfectly flat sand base, and he rolls out high-end artificial turf. He glues the seams so they are invisible. You never have to mow your lawn again. If you have an empty yard, you can do the same thing. Why doesn't everyone build gates like this in the United States? His horses kept escaping, so he came up with this. Instead of buying a high-tech gate, he uses just timber and hardware. He starts by drilling holes and chiseling precise V-cuts in the wood. It looks complicated, but even if you are not skilled, you can do the same. Then, he creates a pivot point using a simple metal rod. It uses gravity and a counterweight to balance itself. It's genius engineering you can build for just a few dollars. But the real test is winter. Every American needs a gate like this. Why does nobody build storage beds like this in the United States? It costs under $300 and is easy to build. Look, he turns OSB boards into massive drawers. He even screws casters under the boxes. This makes it easy to access and prevents scratching the floor. If you want a double storage bed, this is the best DIY. But it's not over. He cuts padding to cover the OSB boards, then wraps everything in gray fabric. Now he screws the padded fronts onto the drawers. Look, he places them on wooden spacers first. When you see the result, you understand what German quality really means. Why don't all Americans finish their attics like this? It gives you an extra room and it is budget-friendly. He starts by reinforcing the floor with wooden joists. Then he insulates it with gray blown-in cellulose. It is way better than pink fiberglass. Now, he brings the OSB sheets up through the hatch. He screws them straight into the joists for a stable floor. But he is not done. He frames the walls under the slope. This will hold the OSB panels. For painting, he uses an airless sprayer. Rollers are outdated. He paints the walls and floor completely white. And for the ceiling, he chooses black for an industrial look. If you have an empty attic, this is the best DIY. Look, he now has a luxurious home office.